I had a moment this morning that I think it perfectly captures where we are in 2026.
Oh, yeah.
I walked into that coffee shop, the really busy one on the corner, ordered my usual, held my wrist up to the little terminal.
The little white square.
Exactly. Heard that beep and just walked out. I didn't reach for my wallet, didn't even unlock my phone. It was seamless.
It's the dream, right? Frictionless commerce. That's what we've all been working towards for decades. Get rid of cash, signatures, pins. Just get to that 1 second beep and you're done.
It really feels like we've hit peak convenience, but then you sent me this report from KSAT that just came out, and suddenly that little, innocent beep feels a lot less like a convenience.
And more like a vulnerability.
Yeah.
It's the classic double-edged sword of tech, isn't it? The easier we make it for money to legitimately leave our accounts, well, the easier we often make it for other people to help themselves.
And this report we're doing a deep dive on today, it focuses on something that's really spiking, a term I'd never heard before. Ghost tapping. Ghost tapping. I mean, it sounds like a bad dating trend or something teenagers do in a cemetery.
Yeah.
But from reading the source, this is way more serious and expensive.
Much more expensive. We're talking about a kind of digital pickpocketing. The victim has absolutely no idea anything has been taken. It's robbery, but it's happening in the physical world silently.
Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts here.
Yeah.
When we say ghost tapping, what is actually happening? Because, back in the day, a thief had to skim my card at a gas pump or just straight up steal my wallet.
Yeah.
This sounds different.
It is different. It relies on the very same technology that let you buy that coffee this morning. It targets NFC near-field communication. That's the tech inside contactless credit cards and your phone.
Okay, so the little chip in the card.
Right. But we need to be really specific about how that chip works. Most of your physical cards use what's called passive NFC. That means the card itself has no power source, no battery. It's just sitting in your wallet, completely inert.
So it's just a piece of plastic until it gets near a reader.
Precisely. When you bring that card close to a payment terminal, the terminal is putting out an electromagnetic field. Through induction, that field actually powers up the chip on your card for a split second.
It wakes it up.
It wakes it up. And the card basically shouts back, hey, I'm here. Here's my account number. Let's do this.
And the problem, I'm guessing, is that the card doesn't have eyes. It has no idea if the thing waking it up is a legitimate payment terminal or a thief's scanner.
You absolutely hit the nail on the head. That is the fundamental flaw. The card is designed to be helpful. So if it detects a field, it responds. It doesn't authenticate who is asking.
And so enter the ghost tapper.
Enter the ghost tapper, yeah. This is a criminal with a device.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be some big, clunky scanner anymore. It can be a modified smartphone or a small reader they can hide in a bag. They get close to you, their device sends out that wake-up call.
And my card, sitting in my back pocket, just answers.
It obliges. It transmits your data.
Through my jeans. Through a leather wallet.
Oh, yeah. Radio waves don't care about denim or leather. Not unless you have specific shielding, which I'm sure we'll get to. The signal goes right through.
Wow.
The cybersecurity strategist they interviewed for this report, Ryan Ledbetter from GuidePoint Security, he put it very bluntly. He said it lets criminals strip data from a card without ever touching the victim.
That's the part that gets me. Without ever touching. If someone puts their hand in my pocket, I'm going to feel it. I might catch them.
Yeah.
But this is silent.
Ledbetter calls it a silent crime for that exact reason. He compares it to traditional robbery and says, unlike a mugging, there's no weapon, no threat to your life, no struggle. He said, and I'm quoting here, ghost tapping is essentially robbing people blind. You just walk away, wallet still in your pocket, thinking everything is fine.
But digitally, you've been cloned.
Cloned is the perfect word. They take that data, your name, card number, expiration date, and they can either use it for online shopping or, worse, clone it onto a blank card and use it in stores.
Now, I want to push back on this a little because we hear about these high-tech scams every few years, right? I remember a decade ago, everyone was terrified of RFID skimmers, but then it felt like it never really happened to anyone I knew. Is this actually a widespread thing in 2026, or is this just security consultants trying to sell us fear?
That is a completely fair question, and skepticism is healthy. But the data in this KSAT report suggests this isn't theoretical anymore. Ledbetter points out that fraud claims linked specifically to this NFC exploit have gone up by about 100% to 150% over the last year.
150%. That's not a rounding error. That's a trend line going vertical.
It is a massive spike, and it tells us two things. One, the criminals have figured out how to do this reliably, and two, The equipment to do it is now cheap and accessible enough that it's being deployed at scale. This isn't one genius hacker anymore. This is becoming street-level crime.
So where is this happening? Am I at risk walking my dog in my neighborhood?
Probably not. The physics of it require proximity. I mean, they need to be inches from the car to power it up. So logically, they need places where standing inches from a stranger is. Well, it's
Or
normal.
crowds.
Dense crowds. The report specifically calls out crowded public spaces as the main hunting ground. Think airports, public transit stations, subways, big concerts or sporting events.
That makes perfect sense. If I'm at a concert or trying to squeeze onto a train at rush hour, I'm already pressed up against 3 other people. If someone bumps me, I don't think I'm being robbed.
Yeah.
I just think, wow, this train is crowded.
Exactly. You lower your defensive perimeter because you have to, and that's what the ghost tapper is counting on. They need that natural camouflage. In an airport security line, I mean, you're
Yeah.
distracted, you're stressed, and there's someone standing right behind you. It's the perfect storm for this kind of attack.
It's just so unnerving because those are places you can't really avoid.
Yeah.
I have to fly, I have to take the subway, so what do we do? Do we just go back to cash and coins?
Well, this is where the conversation gets really interesting and maybe a bit counterintuitive. Your first instinct is to ditch the tech, go analog. But the experts in the piece, including Ledbetter, they actually suggest the opposite.
Wait, what? They want us to use more tech?
Specifically, they recommend using your phone's digital wallet, Apple Pay, Google Wallet, things like that, instead of your physical contactless cards.
Okay, hold on. You've got to walk me through the logic here. My phone has an NFC chip. My card has an NFC chip. Why on earth is the phone safer? If a guy with a scanner is next to my pocket, can't he just scan my phone?
He can try, but this is where we have to talk about something called tokenization. It's the key difference, and most people don't realize it's happening.
Tokenization. Okay, break that down for me.
When you use a physical card, the data on that chip is static. It's your actual real credit card number. If I steal that number, I have the master key to your account until you cancel the card.
Right. Got it.
But when you load that card into your phone's digital wallet, the phone doesn't store your actual card number. It talks to the bank and creates a unique one-time use token, a digital alias for your card. When you pay, your phone sends that token, not your real number.
So if a ghost tapper intercepts the signal from my phone, what do they actually get?
They get a token that's probably already expired or is cryptographically locked to that specific transaction. It's totally useless to them. They can't take that token and go buy a TV.
Yeah, it is a huge difference. So the physical card is broadcasting the master key, but the phone is just sending out a temporary guest pass.
That's a great way to put it. And there's a second layer of security on the phone that the card just doesn't have. Biometrics.
The lock screen.
The lock screen. Think about your physical card again. It has no brain, no off switch. If a reader is near, it talks. But your phone, if your phone is locked, the NFC chip is generally dormant for payments. It won't transmit anything until you authorize it.
So even if the thief is right next to me with the world's best scanner, if my phone is locked.
The phone basically says, I see you, but I'm not talking until I see a Face ID or a fingerprint.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense. So the advice to use the phone wallet is actually really sound. But
Yeah.
there's a catch here, right? Because people don't always lock their phones instantly.
That's the catch. And Ledbetter really emphasizes this. The protection only works if the device is locked. If you're walking around with your phone unlocked in your hand, scrolling social media while you're waiting for the bus, that NFC chip might be active. You have to be disciplined. You need good digital hygiene.
Digital hygiene. That's a phrase we're going to be hearing a lot more. But let's play devil's advocate. I know a lot of people who they don't want to use mobile payments. They don't trust it. Their battery's always dead, whatever. Are they just sitting ducks? Is there a way to protect the plastic?
There is, and it's actually a low-tech solution to a high-tech problem. The report recommends using RFID protection sleeves.
Oh, I've seen those. They look like little paper envelopes for your cards.
Basically, yeah. Or you can buy wallets that have the shielding material built right into the lining. It effectively creates a Faraday cage.
A Faraday cage. Okay, physics term. That just means radio waves can't get in or out.
Correct. It uses a conductive material like a metal mesh to block the electromagnetic field. So when the ghost tapper scanner tries to wake up your card, the sleeve just absorbs the energy, the card stays asleep, the thief gets nothing.
It sounds effective, but I have to be honest, it adds friction. That's what we were talking about at the start. We hate friction. Having to pull a card out of a tight little sleeve every time I want to buy something, that sounds annoying.
It is annoying, and some of the wallets are bulkier. But that is the fundamental trade-off we're facing now. We removed the friction of swiping and signing, but we also removed a security layer. Now, to be truly safe, we might have to voluntarily add a little bit of that friction back into our own lives.
I guess that's the reality. You can have fast or you can have secure, but it's getting harder and harder to have both at the same time.
There is one more layer of defense that Ledbetter mentions, and I think this is probably the most practical one for everyone listening, no matter what they use.
Let me guess. Check your statements regularly.
Even better, transaction alerts. Real-time notifications sent to your phone.
Oh, man. I have such a love-hate relationship with those. I turned them on for a while, and my phone was buzzing for every little subscription, every coffee.
Yeah.
It felt like my bank was nagging me.
It creates what security experts call alert fatigue. You get so many notifications, you just start ignoring them. But in the context of ghost tapping, this is your only real-time burglar alarm.
Because if I'm standing on the subway and my phone buzzes and says, "You just spent $400 at an electronics store," I know right away that something's wrong.
You know within seconds. And that lets you open your banking app and freeze that card immediately. If you don't have those alerts on, you might not notice for a week. By then, the thief has already run up the bill and moved on.
So it's all about shrinking the time between the crime and the discovery.
Exactly. From days or weeks down to seconds.
Okay, so let's summarize the game plan here. Best case, use your phone wallet because of tokenization and the lock screen. If you have to use plastic, put it in an RFID blocking sleeve or wallet. And for everyone, no matter what, turn on those annoying transaction alerts.
That is the comprehensive defense strategy. And I would add one more thing, even though it sounds cliche. Situational awareness.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep your head on a swivel.
But really, we get so absorbed in our phones, Ledbetter warns that we need to stay alert in these busy public areas. If someone is standing just a little too close, if they're holding their bag or some device in a weird way near your pockets, just trust that instinct to move away.
It's funny, we spend so much time worrying about the hacker in some dark room halfway across the world. We think of cybercrime as this abstract thing, but this is physical. This is someone breathing down your neck in the TSA line.
It completely blurs the line between cybercrime and street crime. It's a digital pickpocket. And just like you wouldn't walk around with a $100 bill sticking out of your pocket, you shouldn't be walking around with your digital credentials unprotected.
It really forces you to rethink this whole convenience thing we value so much. I started this whole deep dive talking about how great it was to just wave my wrist and get coffee. But hearing this, maybe that little bit of friction wasn't so bad after all. You know, taking out the wallet, looking at the amount, it was a ritual.
It was a ritual that confirmed, yes, I authorize this. We've automated that authorization. And when you do that, you open the door for the automation of theft. That 150% increase in fraud is proof that the criminals are becoming just as efficient as the payment companies.
That is a very sobering thought. The same tech that makes your life easier makes their job easier.
It's a parallel track of innovation, security versus exploitation.
Okay, so here's the challenge for everyone listening today. When this is over, take 2 minutes. Go into your banking app. I know you have it. Find the notification settings. Turn on push alerts for transactions. Yes, it'll be annoying, but that little buzz might save you a huge headache.
And check your digital wallet settings. Make sure it requires you to unlock your phone to pay. Don't leave the front door wide open.
And hey, if you want to go out and buy some tinfoil to wrap your wallet, we are not going to judge you.
It could be a fashion statement. Cyber chic.
Cyber chic. I like that. We'll see if it catches on. But seriously, thank you for breaking all this down. It's one of those invisible risks you just don't think about until it's way too late.
My pleasure. It's always better to be a little paranoid and prepared than to be surprised and broke.
Words to live by. Stay safe out there. Maybe give that person behind you in line a little side eye today. And thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Take care, everyone.